Okay, hey guys, welcome to the call. This is Wayne Eulery, host of the call, and just want to say, hey, if this is your first time on the Thirsty Thursday call, we want to welcome you. This is a call we've been doing now for 4 or 5 years, and it started out just as a team call. Actually, we did it every night, late at night, and realized that there was some benefit in getting the community, getting the group together each and every night. It's just that not everybody could get on late at night and stay to the wee hours, so we chose Thursdays, and it just happened to work that way. 10 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, and we've been doing it ever since. So listen, if you're new to the call and you want to connect with us on our Facebook group and what we have going on, all you got to do is take out your cell phone and text Thursday to the number 50500. That's right, just text Thursday to the number 50500 on your cell phone, and that'll work out great. All right? And listen, I got a few, announcements from Steve Merritt. Let's see here. First of all, I wanted to go over the Quest for Gold information, guys. So listen. What Monavie is doing is for your quest for gold. For going to gold, you'll be able to attend the 2013 Salt Lake City Conference, Elevate, with a guest for free. You'll get 2 round-trip airfare tickets to Salt Lake City. Your hotel accommodations are paid for by Monavie. You get free admission to the Black Tie Salt Lake City event, and your photo will get taken with the Monavie founders. So you can have all of this by simply qualifying. You have between February 1st and August 2nd. Okay, the qualification requirements are really pretty straightforward and easy. You just got to rank advance to Gold Executive and be Junior Kit or Senior Kit qualified and be active and qualified on 200 PV. Again, that qualification will end on August 2nd. So good luck to you guys out there. The iPad promotion is still going. Sponsor 5 people, help 3 of them go star, and you'll be getting an iPad mini. Very, very exciting. I also want to announce that there'll be a meeting in, the Hampton Inn, 3520 East DuPont, Fort Wayne, Indiana, with Mike Hernandez on May 4th at 7 p.m. With Mike Bonamo hosting that one. So you guys aren't going to want to miss that. That's going to be awesome. Also, I have an itinerary here for Steve in Asia. Guys, if you have anybody in Asia, make sure you plug in to the website to see all these meetings. I don't have time to even go through all of them all, but I will say this. I see Malaysia the 7th, 8th, 9th, Thailand the 11th, 13th, and 14th of May, and then Hong Kong on the 15th, okay? I actually had someone in Malaysia meet Steve at one time. I called him up, or they contacted me. I said, hey, perfect timing. My friend Steve is going to be in Malaysia. Why don't you go out there and meet him? They took pictures together, put it on Facebook. It was a great thing. So listen, guys, make full use of our calendar and make sure you get people connected to this meeting, okay? And I think that's all I have here from Steve. Okay, great, awesome. Listen, I'm excited. We got an awesome call tonight. But what I do want to do is take one moment to just say this. You know, we've been doing this call every Thursday for a while now, and I'm constantly trying to think of, you know, who or what can we do to make it better each and every week. And I just really feel that everybody who comes on this call, that my hope is that when you leave, when you hang up the phone at the end of this call, that you get something. That you don't just get, to hear someone excited and fired up, or that you don't just get to hear about announcements of when a meeting is coming or how somebody did something, but that some nugget or something is shared throughout the night from one of our hearts, from our passion, maybe something from our character, something that you can glean from, something that you can capture, something that you can grab. So those speakers that are on tonight, I'm going to be asking you some questions. I'm going to be drilling deep. I'm going to be trying to grab some stuff out of you that I know this audience wants to hear. And I know, there's when I first got involved with Monavie 5 years ago, for the longest time, I kept thinking, okay, what's the big secret? What's Steve holding from me? What's Al holding? You know, and it's really simple. There's not a whole lot to this business as far as, you know, the steps in that. Do you know what I mean? Those of us that have our own businesses, or, you know, I was involved in real estate. There was a lot involved in contracts and negotiations and all these things that you had to, you know, have knowledge of and practice of. But in this Monavie opportunity, it's so much more, in my opinion. It hits home in the personal development and the ability to follow a system. But first up, I do want to have on Al and Sherry Huva, Purple Diamonds from Canada, and they, I know, have a meeting to go to. So they've jumped on the call real quick to share with us a little bit, and then I know they have a meeting to go to, so I don't want to take a whole lot of time before we bring them on. But I do want to say this. If you are out of the country, you're in Canada, and you don't have a way to call into our number for free, or you're in the UK, I know we have callers from the UK and other countries, you can call from Skype. It's really easy to do. If you just go to ThirstyThursdayCall.com and go check out tonight's blog post, for instance. Okay, we posted a blog talking about Renita, the Huvas, and Steve. If you go on that blog post, in the right column, you're going to see two Skype phones. One of them says Thirsty Thursday. One says Wayne Eulery. In case you have any questions, you can Skype me. Please don't Skype me during the call, though, okay? But if you click on the Thirsty Thursday phone while you're logged into your Skype, it will automatically call free into the call. It's a Skype call. It's free. Once you do that, you will need to use the Skype dial pad to enter in 136326, which is our PIN number. There are other countries that we have international numbers for, so if you click on the About tab on the same website, click on the About tab, scroll down, it will show you the other countries that we have numbers for, so you can just call a local number. I noticed we are attracting people from other countries. So just wanted to let you guys know that. There are quite a few of you I see that are calling in through Skype. Congratulations, good job. And that's all I have to say about that. So without any further ado, I do want to bring Al and Sherry Huva on here. I do a little questionnaire, and I was looking through their bio. You know, Al used to drive a Zamboni. And when I first heard Al's story, I didn't even know what a Zamboni was. I'm like, what do you mean you drove a Zamboni? Like, what's that? You know, I'm from Ohio. We're not real big into hockey up in Cleveland. And I've seen these machines before, but I really didn't know that's what they called them, you know. And Sherry worked with accounts payable. You know, they got started with Monavie through Steve Merritt, okay? And he, you know, tried contacting him over and over again. And until Steve was making $20,000 a week, they wouldn't even listen to him. He had to prove that this thing worked before they were going to get in. And so these are just a few of the things that are shared on the blog there that they shared. And so, Al, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, Wayne, can you hear me? I'm using your Google phone.
Oh, yeah. Great. Google phone. Yeah, that works too. Fantastic. Yep. I can hear you great. So, Al, tell us a little bit about, if you can, real quick, you know, this Steve, why was it Steve had to prove to you $20,000 a week? Really? Well, I just love reading that. I want to hear a little more about that, though.
Well, to be honest with you, we tried to build another network before, and we just didn't make the money compared to the effort that we put in. So I had to actually prove to my wife through Steve Merritt's success that it could actually work for us. And I said, hey, if he could make $20,000 a week, we could make $1,000 a week, and my wife could stay home. So, you know, really, a lot of people tend to give up in this opportunity, and they're just around the corner from hitting goal, like we're talking about Quest for Gold. But, you know, Steve didn't really, you know, he didn't hound us. He phoned us 3 times when he made $100, 103, I think, actually, and then when he made $5,000 a week, and then $20,000 a week. So, you know, he did have to prove to me that it worked. I thought the only people that made money were the people that got in right at the beginning. And, you know, the exciting thing about the opportunity is we got in, you know, a year and a half, 2 years after it had started. So, you know,
wow.
Steve just proved to us, hey, the thing could work.
Now, I'm sure, as a Purple Diamond, that's a nice level in the business. You're making some good money at the Purple Diamond level. Did you have this similar thing happen to you? So did you have someone you contacted, and they said, yeah, when you're making money, contact me back. Did you see that, happen with you like it did with you and Steve?
Well, yeah, we've had some of our family members who, they tend to remember all the stupid things you've done in life,
right.
And once you start succeeding, they start maybe looking at you a little bit different. And I've had two of my sisters sign up with us because we kept at it and started to succeed. So
awesome.
To answer your question is there are people that are watching you right now and that are waiting for you to succeed so that you can prove to them that it actually works.
That's awesome. I love it. And I'm just thinking, another thing that I think is interesting that I'm noticing, and you obviously have a lot more experience in the industry than I do, but with this scanner, with this View scanner that we have, do you think that irregardless of where someone might be making money, maybe they're been in 5 years like me, but they're not Purple Diamond or whatever, maybe they're not even gold or bronze, who knows what has happened in their period of time here. Do you think with this scanner they can come with an approach, maybe not, hey, I'm making all this money, but an approach on a whole different level from maybe the juice that they showed them, years ago? Are you seeing anything like that?
Well, all I know that, we have great tools to the MVP tools, and that the scanner is a tool. It's a contacting tool. And, there are a lot more people that are more comfortable with the scanner and, getting it out there. Sherry has it. We have the little OGO backpack that Sherry is in the car with us all the time. And, when we have people come to the house to give us quotes, whether it's insurance or getting their roof done, hey, we're scanning and talking to everybody about Monavie. So to answer your question about the scanner, I believe it gives people, especially the people, another tool that they can use and to give the product credibility, the company credibility, and then use like we just had in the Edmonton Global newspaper, Mark McDonald on the front cover. So we can use all these different tools to give ourselves credibility, even though we may not be making a bunch of money, because of course we're just getting started. A lot of people are just getting started, so of course, anything they can give to give themselves a little credibility is an added benefit.
Awesome. And you know what, Al? I'm starting to see these follow-up scans now, because it's been, 60
right.
days. And I was just in Texas with a group, and we had a lady, I think she scanned orange 60 days ago. I think she scanned green or blue. She jumped like 40, 50,000 points, something like that. And I was just like dumbfounded, because this is the first time. We're hearing that, hey, go back and get this scan, money back guarantee, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm seeing it. And I tell you what, it's just adding to the belief, guys. I don't know if you're seeing that, but we're rescanning people, and they're coming, their scores are all coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And, I just signed up a lady just a few days ago, and she wants to lose weight for summer, because summer's coming. She wants to lose weight. She tried an ounce of the juice, and that's all she tried. I haven't even shared the shake with her. So she signed up on the full Reveal package and the juice without even trying the shake. And I'm like, oh, I got to scan you. So she didn't even care about the scan. She's like, I just want to lose weight. So you know what it taught me was, I think this scanner is great. It is just another tool. We still have this Reveal that these people, some of these people might not even care about an increase in antioxidants. They just want to look good this summer.
Yeah.
It just reminded me that, hey, we got more than just a scanner. We still have all these other products and opportunities. Go ahead, Al. Talk to me.
Well, and you know what the thing about it, too, is I got in Monavie for a dream. I got in to get my wife home. So, the exciting thing is we do have great products. And, like Steve Merritt says, hey, we'll take everybody if they just want to get a couple cases of juice and just give it a go. If they're concerned about the money-back guarantee or not the money-back guarantee, if they want to build it as a business. When I'm contacting and inviting people, I'm talking to them about, I'm trying to find something about health or something that they can't get out of life doing what they're doing. And, if they don't give me anything, whether they want to be healthy or they want to make some more money. I don't know if I can really help them because they're not at that point where they want to make a change. And, I do know that people are motivated by their dreams and also their health. But, there's two sides to the equation that, that we can use the scanner as a contacting tool. We can use the magazines and the tools as contacting tools. And, just from what's been happening with the scanner, we have a couple on our team that's in their second week of gold qualifications in a small little town in northern Alberta. And they're going to go gold tomorrow, and they've been scanning people like crazy and getting them on the junior and senior kits and getting them scanned up for the money-back guarantee. So there are things happening. These are under our good friends Dewey and Tanya Rubies out of Edmonton and under Joe and Colleen. Joe and Colleen, Blue Diamonds, who they went Blue Diamond without the scanner. So it's pretty exciting about, when people get a dream and they say, hey, I'm going to go gold and do the quest for gold. Because really, if you look at the numbers, it's 50 cases left, 50 cases right, 2 weeks in a row. And you get, like you said at the beginning of this call, look what Monavie is going to do for you. So, people are excited about the different promotions. And the exciting thing about going gold is $50,000 a year if you do it every week for a whole year, and you're qualified gold. So, the most I ever made at my career, and I did it for 17 years, was $38,000 a year. So going gold was huge for us because back when we went gold, you got to go to TPC, the Teaching and Planning Conference, and we went gold on the Friday, and the conference started on the Saturday, and we flew all the way to Florida. That's how much Steve believed in us and said, hey, you guys can go gold because you need to be at that conference to learn how to build it. So it's 90 days quest for gold. It's laid out in the brochure, the party pack we call them, the first night pack, whatever you want to call them, the Do You Know Your Score. It's laid out there. It's pretty simple, I
love it. And you said something. You said, I got in it for the dream. And I thought, I heard that. I actually posted it on Facebook in our group and quoted you. You got in it for the dream. And I heard that, and I wanted to say this. You had learned to dream in the previous network with Steve. It sounds like you just didn't get you just didn't get to where you wanted. But for the person who hasn't had that taste, some of these people, I don't know about in Canada, I think it's the same everywhere. Some people don't even know what their dreams are. They're so doggone busy working, 1 and 2 and 3 jobs. So how do you when you're prospecting people, is there a one size fits all, or are you, honing in on, this person's for health or this person might have a dream? Just kind of curious, Al, just, how your approach is with people.
What I do is I try to find something common. So if they're wearing a baseball hat and it says the Seattle Mariners on it, I'm always looking for something common to make a contact with somebody. So, I'll say, hey, do you go to any of the Seattle Mariners game? Oh, I love baseball. I've always dreamed to, go to the World Series or, people will, if you start asking questions about them, they're going to give you something that's important to them. And we just, quite often, we're talking so much that we don't actually listen when we're chatting with people, and they'll tell you if they like you and if you're asking them questions. And, quite often what we do is we tend to butt in instead of actually listening to when we're chatting with people. And it's even my dad always taught me, hey, make sure that you make people feel better about themselves after you leave chatting with them than before, because that way you're blessing people. And it might even be a kind word, and Monavie would never come up. Maybe a kind word saying, hey, thank you so much. The coffee, it looks great. Or thank you so much for the great service. And we get these opportunities every single day. And it's just a matter of us acting on it and making a friend. That's what Steve was so good at. And he's mentored and taught us about making a friend and encouraging people. And then really, the people that are meant to get in your team with you and in your group, it'll happen, and you don't really even have to press too hard. You just have to ask the appropriate questions when you have the opportunity.
Al, wow. That was right on the money, man. I totally feel that, and I've had that, and then it was so right on cue, guys, and it's so true. And I think, you said something in the beginning there. I know when you're getting started in this, guys, the people that that sometimes we have Monavie like on the mind, like especially when you want those first two people, and I totally get what he's saying there. And learning how to just relax and make a friend is sometimes I can't believe how challenging it is when have Monavie on the mind. And one thing that I've learned over the years is I've just tried to do that, make friends, and I don't even share Monavie with everybody. There's some people that after I get to know them a little bit, I don't even share it with them. Do you ever find that happens, Al?
It's true. I mean, I remember not too long ago, I went to get some parts for the hot tub, and I started chatting with the gentleman, and I thought, wow, this guy would be great in Monavie. I'm going to tell him about Monavie. And then he, started using all these swear words, and I thought to myself, well, I don't know, maybe I don't know if I want him on my team. I mean, not that we can't change, but you actually have your choice in Monavie who you want to talk to, and that's a pretty cool thing about it, that these people are going to represent you, so you get to choose wisely.
Oh, awesome. And also what I want to know is this. You and your wife, when you guys got started, were you both on board?
No, Sherry was actually not real positive about it because our experience with trying to build another network before. So I had to prove to her that we could make money. So what did we do? We just followed the 10-step pattern that we had back then, the path, you call it now, and all we did was I wrote a list without her. I started sharing it with some people, and I'll be honest with you, the first one that we went to share it with a friend of mine that worked at the hockey rink with me, and he was a dreamer also. And Sherry did go with me because she wasn't sure what I got us into. And, we signed them. We did it all wrong. We signed them up wrong. We spent 4 hours at their place, and we didn't know much, but they still signed up. That was our first one. And then we signed up our second one, and I said, hey, we got paid. It worked. There's so many schemes and scams out there, people never get paid, so it actually worked, so we got paid. And that was Sherry said, wow, we made $60 our first week, and everybody's journey in Monavie is a little different. Remember, we built all the people skills in our other network that we tried to build. Even though we didn't make a lot of money, we learned a lot of great skills. And, it took us, I think, 7 months to go gold. And then after a year, we were diamond and blue diamond. So,
right, yeah, how long were you in the other network, Al?
9.5 years.
Okay. Oh, wow, awesome.
But we're not flip-floppers from one network to the other network. All we really do is say, hey, I'm committed to my upline, my trust and my sacred relationship with my upline, Steve, and Frank and Cindy and Bobby and Linda and Charlie and Debbie. And all the corporate guys we got with us now, I mean, we can win big at this thing. It's just a matter of, are you willing to put the effort in and turn off the television from 7:30 till 8:15 at night get focused? I mean, I would go do the meetings on my lunch hour. I work 5 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, or 3 in the afternoon till 1 in the morning. And the tasting parties here in Canada are 7:30 till 8:30. So I'd go on my lunch hour, jump out of my work clothes, and put my Monavie face on and my Monavie clothes and share the meeting, do my part of the meeting, and go back to work till 1 in the morning. But I knew I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. So, hey, sacrifice a little bit. I put my golf clubs away and my hockey gear away for the first year. And the dream was always to play golf and hockey in the middle of the day when everybody else was working. So guess what? The dreams have come true.
I love it, Al. I love it. And I want to say something. This is what I heard from what you just said. I heard that with the people skills you developed in the other network, when you came into this one, it had a lot to do, or it helped you a lot in your success. So I'm really just I'm not trying to dissect everything you say, but I think there's things we say that the listeners might not hear, and I like to bring attention to it if that's okay. But what I hear here is that you had experience, you developed people skills. So the brand new person who comes in Monavie, if they don't go gold in like 3 weeks or something, it's okay, right? I mean, They got to learn too. They got to put some of their time in to develop some people skills. But here's what I'm getting at. There's got to be something more than that, than from the last one to this one. There's something special about this, right? Because why didn't you just build it after you did 9 years of people skills in the other one, right? And you don't have to get into details of that, but there's got to be something in this mix here. Here's why I'm getting at this, Al. I'm getting these people messaging me on my Facebook and everywhere, and it seems like in the past week they're coming in the droves. Come to this. You need to come to this. You need to come to that. And I think we need to kind of just expel this a little bit to the people on the call. Guys, there's a reason why I call it an attack. I feel people are attacking us because we're on the brink of something big. So an experienced networker, Al, tell us, what is it, man? What is there that's so special about us that you couldn't do in 9 years in the other, and now all of a sudden here?
Right. Well, for one, the compensation plan is crazy. It's ridiculously rich, the compensation plan. I mean, we've got it paid every single week since we got started 6.5 years ago. And the other special thing is the More Project. People get attracted to the Monavie business in a number of different ways: the product, the More Project, the dream. But I will tell you one thing, that the grass isn't greener somewhere else, because if you can't make it in Monavie, I don't know what you're going to make it in. Because the thing is that whatever you're not prepared to do in Monavie, you're not prepared to do in another network. So, I mean, I think the thing that we're really serious about is the loyalty to our upline. I mean, here you have a guy that's Steve and Gina Merritt, who are our best buddies, willing to fly 4,000 miles to come help you. And the cool thing about that is that they don't really have to come and help us, but the exciting thing about it is that they're team players, and they want everybody to win. So to answer your question about what is the difference and why are these, I mean, the problem with the society we have, and I don't know where it is where you are in Ohio, is that we live in such a fast food society where if you go in to get your Starbucks and you're waiting in line for 20 seconds, you haven't got it yet, you're impatient and you're getting all upset. Now, you're saying, and I understand I understand what you're saying, is that if someone gets in and they don't go gold right away, are they a failure? Of course they're not. Maybe they haven't developed the skills yet to deal with people, or maybe they haven't read enough books or listened to enough CDs, or that was really the key for us, is these CDs kept us alive, because when someone say no to us, it was no different whether you're in the States or in Canada, is that, hey, it kind of hurts a little bit, until Steve gave me some really good advice. He said, Al, they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to their dreams and the opportunity. So really, you have no control over, if you are just the messenger to tell people about the opportunity, that there's a way that they can get their dreams. Guess what? It's the person's problem that says, no, it's not yours. So all you got to do is just keep sharing it. And you only need a couple of key people. I know Larry and Jennifer Allenbach in Fort McMurray that are just going gold, and then their friends, the McNutts in Alberta, are next in line, because they've created such a wave of momentum and activity. And here's a guy that's working from 7 in the morning. He leaves at 6 and he comes home. It's a 14-hour day, and he's still managed to go gold this week. And we're really excited for it. So anyways, the opportunity is great, but the problem that we have in our society is people just don't stick at things long enough.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Well, Al, I know you guys have a meeting, and I really appreciate you coming on. I just want to bless you guys tonight as you go into your meeting, that the right people are there, that they have ears to hear, and that everybody is getting in, buddy. So you guys have a good meeting. Thank you so much for coming on the call all the way from Canada, Al. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for doing the call.
You got it, buddy. Have a good night. All right, guys. Hey, you heard it. Al Huva, Purple Diamond in Monavie. So listen, next I would like to bring on Scott and Renita Brandon, White Diamonds. I put on their banner on accident earlier, purple. I think that's when I first met Renita. She was a purple diamond. But White Diamonds in the world of Monavie, we got a chance to hang out a little bit out at the cruise that we had last year. I hung out with members of Renita's team in Israel, and it's always a joy to hear her and her husband speak on the call. So, Renita, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me, Wayne?
Oh, yeah, Renita, you sound great. How you doing tonight?
You know what? I'm actually at a tasting party in Minneapolis. Praise the Lord. We're going to get this thing rocking. You know what's crazy,
good.
Wayne? I just found out that because, you know, in North Dakota, we're just rocking it, right? The Fargo crew, the Bismarck crew, the Coeur d'Alene crew. We got a few people going to Minneapolis, but I just talked to a gal that kind of works the market down here, and she said, do you realize there's only 4 or 5 scanners in all of Minnesota? And I'm like, oh, my gosh, it just gets me excited. It just gets me totally excited because I think in North Dakota we probably have 40, you know, and so to know that there's only 4 down here when you have millions of people, it's really a huge, huge opportunity. And it's just, you know, have scanner will travel, right, Wayne?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I'm glad you said that because I got a question for you.
Sure.
40 scanners in your team. Okay, so is there anything I'd like to hear any kind of training, or not training, but, you know, you get a person who's got a scanner. Is there anything you're trying to give them in direction to get started on their, you know, I know we're scanning for a purpose, but come on, we want a little more than that from leadership. You know what I mean? Like, what are some strategies, I guess is what I'm getting at, Renita? Give me some strategies of how these 40 scanners are going out there and just going scan crazy.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm sure that all 40 are probably not because, you know, this is a business of action. And if you're not getting out of the house, you're probably not taking as much action as you need to be to really grow this thing. What I know about the scanner, though, and what I've been doing personally, I think Scott and I in the last 60 days has probably sponsored 21 new people, which is a lot because we've been in the business. I think it's our 6-year anniversary today, actually, which is pretty great.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, it's really crazy. But anyway, so what I've seen with the scanner, though, the biggest thing that I can tell you is once you scan somebody, once you make an effort to scan it, whether it be some people are just going back to their teams and scanning people on their teams that have no experience or have not even seen the scanner yet. Some people are taking the scanner to random places like coffee shops, Barnes & Nobles. I took it to a MOPS group and scanned 30 MOPS mothers. You know, I mean, every chance I get to do a scan, and someone asked me to do a scan for the Lions Club. I'm going to go speak to a bunch of these old guys about antioxidants and blood sugar stabilization. But here's what I know. I think the difference between just scanning and scanning with a purpose is a sense of urgency. That's huge because, listen, when you scan and you're scanning with a purpose, like, okay, I'm scanning with this purpose to get this person on Monavie and to increase their antioxidant score because they're red and we want them to go purple, I think the sense of urgency of getting them in immediately is it's going to be a game changer for people because what happens is if you say, like, and I don't make it like nonchalant, like when someone says, oh, I'm orange, that's not too bad. I'm like, actually, that's really not good at all. That's terrible because disease thrives when you're red, orange, or yellow. You definitely do not want to stay there. Praise the Lord you came to this meeting tonight so we can scan you and find out you're orange because you're never going to be that low again. Thank God. I think you might have just saved your life by showing up tonight. So I create this major sense of urgency about that needs to shift. We cannot let you stay at red, orange, and yellow and leave your kids at red and think that's going to be okay because it's not. And I think that I think sometimes we try to sugarcoat it and make it look like, well, maybe that's not so terribly bad. Well, disease thrives, when our bodies are more inflamed and when our antioxidant levels are low. And does it take a day or a week to develop a disease? No, of course not. But I tell you what, if you're testing someone and they're red and you know their lifestyle has been pretty horrific and they eat fast food and drink 14 cups of coffee a day, when would be the time to make that change? You know, I don't even think it should be something that they have to go home and think about. I think us as distributors, I think that we have a sense of responsibility to create that sense of urgency because I don't necessarily want anybody walking away on my watch and after I've scanned them and find out, a month or two later that they've been diagnosed with cancer or something. Not saying that Monavie is going to prevent that, but I know that with Monavie comes a shift in their thinking and a shift in some lifestyle choices, right? I mean, especially when you listen to Mark McDonald and you start reading some of like the 365 magazine, which is a phenomenal tool to give people. But when you start plugging into some of that stuff, people have no choice but to get healthier. And so I think the missing link for a lot of people is they might be out there scanning, and at the end of the day they're like, geez, I scanned 30 people and I didn't sign anybody up. Well, the reality is, did you create that sense of urgency necessary for that person to realize, today is the day that action needs to be taken, not 3 months from now, not 6 months from now. And so I think that a sense of urgency with the scanning and helping them to understand that red, orange, and yellow is where disease is thriving. We cannot stay there. And, and I actually have said to people, what are your plans to do after you leave here tonight? Tell me what your plan of action is so that I don't have to worry about you or your kids scanning red, because I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. So what's your plan of attack for that? And if they can't specifically tell me a plan of attack, I say, you know what? Sounds like your best option right now is to drink this juice and to get in and get ready for that 60-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose and only your health to gain. And so it's been really an incredible journey with that scanner. It's just incredible, you guys. I'm telling you, if you have not got out and scanned, do it. It will change your life. It could save somebody's life is what I keep thinking. Like, we got to quit sitting on watching TV and watching Dancing with the Stars, and we got to get out and help people to become the biggest losers, right, with their health and their weight loss and these communities. The sky is the limit. Who do you want to scan? We've scanned wrestlers in wrestling rooms with their sweat dripping on my scanner, right? Like, I mean, do you want to scan kids? Do you want to scan old people? We went into a nursing home last week. 7 nurses showed up for this meeting. They asked us to come talk about nutrition and blood sugar stabilization and Monavie. We scanned the nurses. They were all red and orange. 5 of the 7 got in, right? That day, immediately. They filled up the sheets. Everybody on 300 PV orders or greater. Why? Because we created that sense of urgency. We played the view video. We flipped the chart. We poured the shots. And we said, what's your plan, ladies? You're in the healthcare profession, and you're all red and orange. What's your plan to take control of your health? Bam, they were all filling out the sheets. It was crazy. It was awesome. And then the 47 other employees at that nursing home said, we couldn't partake in that because that was just a certain meeting for the CNAs and RNs. Can you come back in 2 weeks and do the other 47? We want to know what you said because we want to get healthy. I'm like, yep. It's awesome, Wayne. It's easy.
We'll be right back.
Right? Right? So, and by that point, of course, that's a 2-week window. So by the time we get back there in 2 weeks, some of those other nurses are going to be having some positive effects, and it's going to be spreading like wildfire. They'll be pooping better. They'll be sleeping better. Some of them will be down some weight. So it'll be easy to go back and talk about them. I'm just going to bring all those other nurses into the room and let them tell them how it's been working. It's easy.
Wow. Renita, I needed this, me personally. What? I'm telling you, I was just in Texas, and I scanned a guy with my distributor there, Heather. He scanned like 5,000, 8,000, something ridiculous. And we were kind of nonchalant about it. I'll be honest, I think it was a fear, like, oh, my gosh, should I be like, dude, you're, whoa. And I needed this little boost right here because I can play that part. I don't have a problem with it. Just sometimes for me personally, until I hear it or see it, I don't know. Just some people are like that.
They are. And I'm going to tell you one more thing. We've scanned lots and lots of people. I probably have scanned about 22 people with cancer, okay, that actually have full-blown cancer, right? 20 of those people scored red, okay?
Wow.
And the 2 that scored green, they didn't drink Monavie yet. Here's the miraculous thing. They're drinking it now, but they didn't drink Monavie yet, but guess what happened? One of them was on the Gerson method, which is all fruits and vegetables. She said she juices like I don't even know how many pounds of carrots and kale and everything a week because she's on this healing regimen for her cancer that's all fruits and vegetables, no meat. I mean, it's really, really radical. And the other gal that I talked to that has cancer does the same thing. She's high into fruits and vegetables and juicing and juicing and juicing. And the bottom line is out of the 22 people that I scan now about that have cancer, the 2 that are green are crazily juicing fruits and vegetables, right? The other 20 were red, and they're dying of cancer. And I think to myself, we cannot, and I'm not saying that everybody that's red is dying of cancer. I'm absolutely not saying that. But what I am saying is that when you are red, think of it like we have to come at it with a sense of urgency. We just absolutely have to. Red, orange, and yellow is unacceptable.
No, I totally like it. I needed to hear it because, the guy left without signing. Now we're meeting with him tomorrow, and he came back with, there's 7 grams of sugar per each something. I'm the pre-diabetic. And I said, well, listen, that 7 grams of sugar is nowhere near the issue that you have with showing up as an 8,000 on our scanner. So I did come back with the urgency. You might not have been there in the first place, but I did bring it back.
I'm going to say this. When you get past 8,000, when you get to the 40, 50, 60, 70,000, you're probably not going to have the problems with diabetes, honey. The reason you're so inflamed with diabetes is because your body's full of inflammation because you're scoring at 8,000. And here's another thing I would have said. Hey, listen, our spokesperson is like one of the ambassadors for the American Diabetes Association. He is the head of all these products and telling us if they're good, bad, or ugly. I mean, the guy has dedicated his life to blood sugar stabilization. His name is Mark McDonald. And you know what? He's not going to tell you to consume these products, being a diabetic, that are terrible for you. You know what I mean? They're going to help you in one way, shape, or form, first and foremost, by increasing your antioxidant score. And then, I would, of course, got into the PFC. I'm like, have a cheese stick and then drink your juice. Let's rock, But really, I mean, there's just no question about it, right? I mean, I just feel like everybody that you know who's going to make all the money? You know who's going to bless the most lives? The people that are taking all the action. So if you're not an action taker, if you're on this call right now and you're not an action taker, you better sponsor one, because this thing is moving like a fast-moving train. And I'm telling you what, it is so much fun. Like, Jacinta and I went down to Arizona. The guy that was sitting next to us on the airplane got in. The guy that I went to at the gym, that we were going to do the free gym membership thing for the day, got in. Everywhere we went, we scanned people and they got in. No one said no. Everybody said yeah. I mean, I'm just like, you guys, get out there and scan people. Be a mover and a shaker, and if you're not, sponsor one. I'm telling you, it's the magic of the business is action. That's the magic. That's the secret. Action. Consistent, persistent action.
I love it. And urgency. And you know what? When it was just the juice in that, it was urgency then too. We had it was some form of urgency back then that I'm getting ready to sponsor this big business guy. You got to get in. Or maybe, it was always some sort of urgency. Oh, my gosh, my grandma, 3 weeks, came off blood pressure medicine. She'd been on for, oh, my gosh. And it was always some form of urgency that I used thinking back, And, man, I'll tell you what, this call for me, I don't know about anybody else on this call, but I'm fired up, Renita. I'm ready to take some urgency to the scanner.
Right, when someone scans 8,000, like, you know what I would say? Mayday, mayday, mayday. Praise Jesus, you are standing here right now. We are going to get you to orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Get a vision for where you're going, because you're never going to scan that again, because that is not contributing to your long-term health. Diseases and formation right now as we're speaking. And you know what? The buck stops here. This is the night your life changes. It's easy. It's so easy.
I love it. I'm
not sure Scott's on the call, to be honest with you. I haven't had communication with him because I've been at this big tasting party down here in Minneapolis, but he might be, he may not be. I'm sorry if he's not.
That's okay. Scott, are you there? Hey, that's all right. That's all right, Renita. Hey, I tell you what, I so appreciate your time. I know both you and Al had tasting parties, and appreciate you guys jumping on the call. And seriously, that I got the nugget I got from you tonight was urgency. How to apply it to the, I know urgency is part of the game. I get it. I don't know. I think now I'm going to be fine. I think there was just an uncertainty about me, like saying that to people. But you know what? It is, and I'm like preaching to myself. When I was in Israel, they said this is not a nice business. In other words, nice stands for nothing inside cares enough. And I think when you do play it down, and I think when you do kind of nonchalantly do it, you're just being nice, because it stands for nothing inside cares enough. Because if I really cared enough for this guy, I would have put that urgency in there. And it's not that I don't care for people. It just was maybe a fear of some sort. And I'm telling you, you just empowered me tonight, Renita, and I really believe a lot of people on the call. And that message you just shared right there needs, I think, to be shared throughout the community. How to get that urgency when you make that scan, they're red. I just have this feeling there's a lot of people going around scanning, because I'm one, and not putting that urgency in it. Because we're pioneers here, guys. So I'm so glad you shared tonight about that, Renita. I'm so glad. It really empowered me. It really did.
Praise God. Well, I thank you for having me on the call. I appreciate it. There was one other story that happened to me recently. I'm thinking about it right now, but a gal from another team, she happens to study blood, like for a living, like she's a nurse and she studies blood, right? And so what she does is she draws your blood and she looks through a microscope to tell you if your blood is has too many like antibiotics in it. Like maybe you've been on too many antibiotics in your lifetime. And so she's been doing this for years and years and years, like looking at blood through the microscope. And she said, you know, she can honestly tell you if the blood is like good blood or bad blood. Just because she studied blood for so long, like if the blood is of a person that could possibly potentially have disease in their body versus a person whose blood is well and their bodies are functioning optimally. And she said what's crazy now is with the scanner, like for years she's been drawing blood, looking at it through microscopes, telling these people this. She said it almost correlates exactly with sick blood, healthy blood when she looks at the scanner. She said it's almost like she doesn't have to poke and prod them anymore. When she scans them and they're red, almost 100% of the time when she looks at the microscope through the blood, it's a person that she would be considered to have, I don't want to say bad blood, but you know what I'm saying, like there's like disease formation in the blood, versus the ones when she scans them and they're blue or purple, and she looks through the microscope at the blood, it's like their blood is functioning really optimally and it's healthy blood. And when I heard that story, that too created a sense of urgency in me because I think to myself, I don't want somebody scanning red and knowing that that means that there's bad blood and there's the diseases into the formation in their blood already. Like, and you can see that through a microscope. I'm like, you know, that for me was some confirmation with, you know, we do have to get very, 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 I think forthright, positively forthright with people about what that really means. And that sense of urgency, it's being positive, but it's like you said, it's being honest. It's being honest and not tiptoeing around the elephant in the room, you know. Let's get after this thing.
Yeah, and I can't even believe I'm seeing this. Like, it's so, you know, sometimes people, we just get so blinded by things sometimes. And something that I think if I were to hear from someone else, I'd be, oh, my gosh, you just need to be more urgent. It's funny how I couldn't see it for myself. And just hearing you tonight totally made it click for me, you know. And that's why I think these calls are so important. That's why I think it's so important that people connect with their upline. You know, don't go try to do this thing on your own, guys. You know, connect with your upline, if it's Renita or whoever it is. The people who are taking action, they're the ones. She said she just scanned. She has 40 scanners. I don't know. I wonder how many people you think you've scanned. How many people you think you've scanned with your scanner?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I probably have to look at the office. I mean, it's. Yeah, I know that since the scanner, you know, we were in the pre-launch too. I mean, it's thousands really. But what I would tell you is last week alone, I scanned 3 different meetings. We had a home tasting party that we scanned. I did, you know, the daily activities done daily is what builds character, right? So day in and day out, I think the secret is getting out there and trying to do 2 to 3 scans. And if you've been sitting on the duff all week and the weekend comes, that means you got 14 scans to do on Saturday. So you better get after it and go find a group of people somewhere to scan because this is a numbers game. And Randy Schrader has said that. You know, you might come across somebody who wants health, and then you'll come across 10 that don't really care that they're orange. I'll be honest. Some people don't care that they're orange. That's not necessarily the person I'm looking for. You know, I don't know if you ever heard the stages of change, but it's called pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. Those are the stages that people go through when they make a major change. If someone's in pre-contemplation, health is the last thing on their mind. And if you're talking to them a lot about it, you're wasting your time. That's a pre-contemplation. Contemplation means maybe they thought about it once in a while, but I don't know if they're really willing to take a whole lot of action yet. So you might be able to move that person, but again, I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time. Now, a preparation person is someone that is looking for an answer. They've been looking for something to change the health of their kids. They've been looking for a gym membership. They're in preparation. They're preparing to make a life change. When you get those people and you scan them, immediately they move from preparation into action. Because that scan, that color on that machine was all they needed to see to move into full-fledged action. So pre-contemplation and contemplation people, I don't mess around with a whole lot because it's like pulling teeth. I go for the ones that are ready for the preparation, and they're almost there where they're like, I'm looking for something. And then they move immediately into action. And then, of course, the 5th stage is maintenance and maintaining that great health. And that happens from attending these Thursday night calls because you learn, you grow, you learn more about health, you learn about the business. I mean, all of it. So it's a blessing, you guys. This business is a blessing. Treat it as so.
That was great, Renita. That was great. That was awesome. You know, I never heard it that way. I've seen it that way. You know, I know when I'm talking to that person that I tell people it's like you got this big German Shepherd and it's facing away from you and you're trying to walk it and it doesn't want to budge. You're trying to walk it down the street, get it some exercise, and the thing you can't budge it. And that's how I see people, you know, when they're just not budging. I'm not going to be the one to try. I don't like pulling on that chain. I want to get the dog that just wants to go.
Right.
Ready to go. Love it, Renita. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You bet. Thank you for having me on. Just ask people at their parties. when you're scanning them, say, do you want to be well? And if people are like, yeah, but I'm type 2 diabetic and I got 14 meds, and I'm like, that person is not in preparation. They're in pre-contemplation. They're not changing tonight. And if some of you say, do you want to be well, and someone says, yes, and I'm ready to make the change right now, what is it that I need to do? That is a person, because when somebody who wants to be well, they're going to sign up when they're red and orange. They're going to sign up when they're red, orange, and yellow. They're going to sign up when their kids are orange, because they want to be well, and they want their families to be well. If someone can't answer that concretely when you say, do you want to be well? And they're like, well, yeah, but, wrong guy. Next.
And you know what else I heard in what you said? Something that Randy said before. The skill to do comes in the doing. And if you've done thousands of scans, guys, that's why we're obviously hearing all this, too, because you've had so much exposure to it. I loved it. I love it, Renita. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. I got a lot of good stuff tonight. Have a good time at your party tonight.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you, too. Oh, awesome. And it's so true. The skill to do comes in the doing. And, I can remember when I was working for a telemarketing company. Man, I had to make like 70, 80, 100 calls a day, and that thing was automated. You hung up, boy, it was ringing another person. You hung up, it was ringing another person. But let me tell you, 100 people a day, after so many days, you got your skills honed in. You got things honed in. So I really like that with this scanner, we have more opportunity to get an activity in and to do something. Wow, awesome call tonight, guys. Next, I don't know, Steve, are you on the line, buddy?
I'm right here, fired up.
Oh my gosh. Hey, buddy, I knew you might be doing some traveling, and I was wondering, oh my gosh, is he going to be on? Great, glad to hear you. So, guys, Steve Merritt, I announced all your trips in the beginning of the call to Malaysia and Hong Kong and Taiwan, and those are all on Monavie.com, correct?
You know what? I think you just got to go to my Facebook, and we'll get everything posted. You know what? It's on my website too, SteveMerritt.com, and it shows where it's all. And if you guys got some people, plug them in, because this is an international opportunity.
Right. So, Steve, tell me, you've been in for a while, and let me ask you just a few questions. When you first got started, I've heard your story several times. One bottle auto ship, you did it for a friend, right? I mean, we just heard Al at the beginning of the call say, until you, I can't believe it, but until you were making like 20-some thousand a week, he wasn't joining because he didn't make anything in the last one, in the last network you guys were in together. So how about you? Tell us your quick beginning to joining Monavie.
I mean, one of the biggest things you got to do is you got to click off. When you're an athlete, you got to learn. You learn this skill, like Renita is talking about, with the skill of doing and keeping yourself motivated and learning who you're talking to and who you're not. It's like everyone on this call, I would set a goal to make sure that you're going to place 30 bottles and do 30 scans in the next 30 days. Go in the evening and place them. During the day, it's a bonus if you do one at breakfast or at lunch or any time during the day, which I do. But at night is when it counts. There's a old saying by successful business people. You make a living 9 to 5, but you create wealth in the evening. And just like she said, if I'm going there, I'm going to be talking to them. Do you care about your health? I don't have the exact verbiage of what it's called. I just say, do you want you and your family to have better health? And they say, no, I'm done. I'm leaving, and I'm ready to rock and roll. But I will ask for a referral, because if you put your if you really put $250,000, I mean, this scanner costs not the cost of the scanner in the property of the scanner, what it costs to build this, what it costs to invent it, and all that, millions and millions. If you added all that up, plus the $6 million that Monavie spent to have the intellectual properties they own, and they have the rights to it, and we've got it for the next 17 years. I mean, if you treated like you threw in $3 million of that, you would say, hey, look, if you got a brother or sister that might be caring about their health or might be open to an opportunity. So the two things you got to find out: do they want better health, and are they looking? And you're scanning them and drinking the juice and talking to them about that. And if they seriously do, and they don't have any other way to get there, then you're going to get them in. This is what we're going to be doing for the rest of our life. If they don't, then you're not going to be placing. That's not a person you place a bottle with. You take and you run. But like Renita said, if it's someone that is, you're going to go to sign them up, and you tell them why, like a sense of urgency, because I'm going to go sign up my friend Wayne after you, and you get paid up to $10,000 a week for the people I put underneath you that you don't know. So you have that urgency. But to go back to that question is, how do you you have to click off your brain thinking that I was broke. I had to think. I've been listening to Kiyosaki's Business for the 21st Century 4 times last night because I drove 3.5 hours one way there and back last night to go help a bunch of doctors do a home meeting and get them started in the business. And, you know, funny thing is when I got started, so you got to click off that you were broke, and you got to click off that you didn't succeed the way you wanted to, and you have to believe this is your time, this is your moment. If you're on this call, you haven't succeeded where you'd like to be so far at Monavie. I challenged everybody at the Open tonight in Orlando, which was packed, standing room only. I'll post it on the Facebook, and I'm telling Renita, all of us, let's just keep posting. Here's what I told everyone tonight. I said, instead of texting your upline, take a picture. Like last night when I got done with the doctors, I said, hey, now all these got the cardiologist, I got an internal medicine doctor, I got so many titles, I don't even know who all these people are. They actually, because I'm hanging around, like I drove there with a doctor. So when I got there, they're like, what kind of doctor? I mean, everybody thinks everybody's a doctor. I'm like, well, I'm the dream doctor, right? This guy said he worked from 8 o'clock in the morning every day till 2 in the morning. Like when I call him today, he's still, like I call him right now, he's not done till 2 in the morning every day. He's had his list. After we got done with the whole meeting and everybody's, got started, he showed his list that he works now till 2 in the morning. Here's all the patients I got to go see at the hospital. And he told me that it is the most miserable, it is the most cutthroat industry you've ever seen in your life. The insurance companies want to squeeze them out, and the hospitals want to squeeze them out of business. It's the most cutthroat business you ever seen. This is a cardiologist telling me yesterday. So, anyways, to help that question, start thinking about what you've done in your life that you've won at. Like I did become a world champion, so I was down on my luck when I got in Monavie, but I knew how to win. You believe you can win. Look at Renita. I mean, it's happening. When you go, I went last night and got people going. When I got there, they had the same concerns, but in a different way as when I signed up. I thought this is pretty interesting, Wayne. When I started Monavie, everybody said they never heard of Monavie. So when I got to the meeting last night, all these people said, when we were years ago, we used to see Monavie everywhere. It was like everybody was talking about Monavie. Does this sound familiar, Wayne? Like, people would be talking about Monavie, and they were coming around. We've seen them everywhere. Every other SUV had Monavie on it, but now we don't see Monavie anymore. So what's the answer? I'm like, well, you know what? People actually can make money in Monavie, and they drink the juice, and they don't even have to be there. My mother-in-law is making thousands of dollars every week, and she's handicapped. She doesn't come out. She's got Monavie on her car, but she doesn't drive around anymore because she can't drive. She's handicapped. So, I mean, you don't know the answer of what's going on, but I will tell you that Monavie is paid out $1.5 billion to people, and, some people are comfortable with $200 a week or $1,000 a week. Some people want to make $10, $20, $30, $100,000 a week. So, I don't really know, but I know one thing, that they keep paying me and my friends, what do you care? I mean, I guess I don't really know. I mean, so the same question, it's a different question. You understand what I'm saying? You might have a different question than what I had. They said I've never met anyone that made money. Well, let me show you the MV365 magazine. Now, that's what they said to me when I got started. Back then I didn't have any pictures to show. Now look at, here's the pictures that are shown and the people that are succeeding. And you have stories to tell of the different people that are in the magazine. So now today, before I start the Open in Orlando, the doctor calls me. So these guys are all questioning, well, I'm not sure, I'm getting in, but I mean, I saw Monavie, but I don't see it now. I don't know what's going, what I can say. All of a sudden, I got their dream going. I said, hey, look at, like Renita talked, this guy scored. I thought, everyone else claims they got the highest score in their scanner. I got the lowest score. This cardiologist, man, I think he scored the lowest. It was under, 10,000 points. I mean, red as could be. And now they're calling me with hope and dreams that they can get out. They just were like couldn't believe that we were there to help you. I said, guess what? If you work this hard, you've got a doctor friend right here and you got me. And our goal is to help you get free. Now, you on this call, this is what I've been doing since I started. I wanted my brother-in-law, Don, to get free. So I told him I'm going to help you. And I did do the work. I got him to $1,000 a week before he led a couple people to me, and I helped those people by me studying the GPS. And when the people came only to drink the juice, I said, I used the form, like, Al Hoover teaches. What, you have a family, and they talk about their family. You got kids. I got a business. Well, that must be a great business. No, we can't stand it. Oh, really? I drink a little more juice. Not only will this make you feel better, we got a huge opportunity. Next thing you know, I'm getting going, and we're making it happen. But the same, there's no different than what I started than what we're doing now with the scanner. I'm here to help you succeed. Who do you think I'm looking for? A busy person. I have to find a busy person and put you with me that we can work together. And I had 2 jobs, and I did that. So now I don't have a job, but I do it in the evening. I was there in the evening. I wasn't there doing unduplicatable stuff. I was there in the evening doing what everybody else would do the same way with my friend, helping them all succeed. But I got a voicemail. I still got it on my phone message, and they said, so these guys that were a little skeptical, they hadn't seen, Steve, everything you said was right. I have 3 people. When can you come back? They all want to get in. And you know what? Dr. Richardson, he's got 3 people. They all want to get in. So if you go there, you show them what the old saying is, don't tell them how much you know, show them how much you care, and they can't wait to get things happening. So what my thing that I was really challenging everybody is I took a picture, and I had a picture, and I put it on the Facebook yesterday of me and the doc, and they were all very educated, major doctors. I said, you guys mind getting around here? We got one guy who just got his new scanner. The other one just signed up. The other guy signed up. So I said, let's get together and take, oh, yeah, Steve, no problem. We'll take a picture, Then the guy who was down the hall that took the picture, now he's all fired up. So point is that I think that every night when you go out, because that's what you got to do in the evening, and again, if anyone has been watching about happening in Brazil, I just got back there, 8,000 people. They were about to shut Brazil down a year and a half ago, and I asked all my friends, would you just put your remote down and show the plan once a night? And that's when the whole thing turned around. I'm asking everybody on this call, would you put your remote down, show the plan, and please, before you leave, I want you to take a picture of you scanning your friend and his wife, and you with your juice there, or your reveal, and you doing it, and then send that to your upline or put it on your Facebook. I want to see a picture of you doing that tomorrow night, and that's what I'm doing. And then you can, but or you could send a picture of you watching TV. I mean, you're going to do one or the other. You're watching TV, or you're going to be scanning and showing the plan. But if you really want this to work, you got to be honest with yourself. And the thing I like about the picture is you get what you picture. If you're showing the plan, you're taking your picture. But if you don't send us a picture, then we know that you're not showing the plan. So I want to start challenging people, because you got to get out 30 bottles in the next 30 days, and you scan your friends. You have got the ultimate. Monavie has spent millions of dollars on every one of you with this antioxidant view scanner, patented. It is the Mac Daddy contacting people magnet, like Renita said. You be on an airplane. You can't. If you pull that out, you cannot have not have a conversation with somebody about what's happening, and calling somebody up. I mean, literally. Bob, this is Steve. I got new wellness technology. That's why I'm calling you about. I bumped in some friends. You've got to see what I'm on to. Where are you at? And you go show them. You have to be smart enough to know what to say. When I would call my friends up when I first got in, I called them about a nutritional beverage. If you listen to any of my CDs, okay, I didn't call them up and say, hey, Matt, I got a multi-level marketing company. I got a network marketing company. I got a word of mouth. I called them up about a nutritional beverage, or look, I'm going to help some people and make some money. You got to know what to say. Now people love new things. We've got new cutting-edge wellness technology. I come across it. You got to see it. And you've got to be using that lingo, and you got to learn. You got to learn what to say and how to say it. And you get it by what you and Renita were talking about, practicing. You keep practicing. Eventually, you get it. and then you get it down. But literally, you're going to have to now go out and roll up your shirt sleeves and go see people. And you don't need many people. I'm telling you, you put 2 good ones on the right and 2 on the left. Now, these guys called me and said, can you come back? Well, guess what? The guys I helped the night before said, can you come back? This other one wants a whole meeting. We want you. You know what? I can only use the MVP tools and get them out in everybody's hands. I bought 50 of the March issue, and now I'm buying 50 of the April, and they are going out like hotcakes because if the people aren't getting on them on my team, I'm doing what I did from the very beginning. I just buy them all, and I sell them to everybody, and they're just out there because know this understanding that where tools flow, people grow, because I love what Kiyosaki was saying on this CD. You know what? You have to look for a company that has a system that is in place with a bunch of leaders and where people are being educated and they're growing so that they are sponsoring the right kind of caliber of people. So, I mean, things are happening. You guys, everyone on this call can do it. You got to understand that it is your business. No matter what we say, no matter how much you hear, you got to go take a picture of what you're doing tomorrow night. I know one thing. I'm going to be showing the plan. I hope that you are, but I'm encouraging you to go do it. And do you think that Renita wants to be doing I mean, we enjoy being with the people, but I'm telling you right now, you have to, if you got a goal set, you want to hit it, you're going to have to go make it happen. You know, Dallin Larson isn't going to just send you $1 million. You're going to have to go start by making it happen. And I love this new gold promotion. Every one of you should take the one-on-one brochure, put it on your refrigerator. You got to get 5 people right, 5 people left. Yes, they have to be on lifelong learning or they don't count. Now, you can count them as in you got them in, and you'll take anyone where you want, but if you want to get free, they've got to be doing the right things. They've got to be on auto ship. They've got to sponsor the right people. They've got to get a kit that's got product. I mean, you can't just get around there. If you heard George last week, he said he sponsored his 10 people by placing the bottles. Anyone not hear that? So if you're going around without juice or you're not leaving the bottle, now don't leave it, like Renita said, with someone who doesn't care. That's a waste of your money. So you're qualifying them. You're finding out who's looking, who's not. But set your goal to go gold because, I mean, Monavie is paying for you to fly to Utah. They're paying for your airlines. They're paying for your expenses. They're paying for your hotel. They're letting you go to a black tie event. They are taking care of you first class. It took most people when they made the decision. Remember this. You got to make the decision to go do this. And it takes most people, 90 days to get yourself to gold. It took my wife and I 6 weeks. It took, I don't know, it takes all different folks at all different things, but on an average 90 days. You got 4 months to get there and make it happen for you to get a free trip to your spouse, so you all go there for free. Why not go there free? Why not do what I did? I brought my friend Matt with me on the first diamond trip because we both did it together. Team up with a friend, start learning the basics. They're right in the GPS. Contact. Show make a list, contact, show the plan, follow up, sign them up. Grab onto this energy that we are hearing on this call here tonight. Get more people from your team on the Thirsty Thursday call. Get fired up. I mean, you don't need many people. I mean, think about this. You get a couple people right and a couple of people left that are serious. You help each of them make a list of 100 names. You are busier than you could possibly be because when I say take a picture of you showing the plan, if Wayne is my personal friend and I take a picture the first night with him, well, guess what? The next night I'm with him with another friend of his, a friend of his. I mean, you want to go take your talent and your gift of sponsoring people and go help your friends do the same thing. So it is happening. People are looking more than ever. Like Kiyosaki said, I mean, everyone has to realize that jobs they can hire people that make. There aren't $80 an hour jobs anymore because they've taken them overseas. There's 100 people that want your job because of the population boom. 100 people want your job. 200 people want your job. Guess who knows that? Your boss. 40 million people by 2017 are going to get in this business, in this industry. Let me help you on something. If you could zone in and get singleness of focus, singleness of purpose, you have to zone in on one thing, meaning that in water skiing there's all different kinds of skiing. there's a show scan where you can kind of be good at everything, but you're not great at one. I had to zone in on one thing, barefoot skiing. My daughter could be slalom, jumping. She wakeboards just like a snowboard, and she's the best. You have to zone in on one thing, and it's very difficult because you want to do all these other things. Guess what? You zone in on one thing and don't look left or right, just like my wife and I and my friends have done, and you are going to win with us because 40 million people by 2017 are going to get in this industry. That's what the experts are saying. And Monavie is is investing in every one of you. You're going to have to really get yourself focused on where you're going and setting your goals, and learn how to do. Learn what Renita and Al and myself and Wayne and the folks that come on this call are doing. I had 2 jobs. Gina had a job. You got to figure out how to fit this in your day. That's probably one of the hardest things you're going to be able to do. But you know what? If you start making a habit of showing the plan once a day in the evening, I don't care if you say 3 times a week you're going to do it. Figure that out, but decide to do it. Take a picture so you're honest with yourself. Start setting your goals and filling out. I'm going to sponsor 3 people a month and help them get their 2 for the next. These doctors and their friends, they weren't only doctors that called me. They've already got their first 3 in one day. So you're going to find people that are going to go put this together. They can put their month goal in one day if they get serious. Because there's people out there looking and praying for an opportunity like never before. And last thing I wanted to say is what Renita was saying as well is do the people want to have better health? When I'm calling it, because this scanner is so new that if people don't know what their antioxidant score, how important it is, they don't even know what one is. Now, that is a good thing. If everyone knows what it is, it's too late because you really don't have an opportunity. So understand that be patient with people that don't. It's like I had to be patient with people that didn't understand what I was doing, so that when they did, so they still were relating to me and actually liking me. Otherwise, they wouldn't like me if I wasn't being patient with them. But people do live in denial, meaning that when I got in, I handed them a bottle. A gal gave me some Christmas cookies. We got into Christmas time. It was our first time we had our first meetings, right around the holiday time. And I gave her a bottle of juice. My friend Julie, I didn't have any cookies, so I gave her a bottle of juice. And she went home and I said, drink. I drank with her and gave her the rest of the bottle. And I said, start drinking. She said, I have back pain. I'm going to a pain management doctor. You don't even know what your neighbors are going through. I didn't even know. She actually drank the bottle, and her pain went away, told the pain management doctor she's drinking this Monavie from her neighbor, and she doesn't have any pain anymore. He threw his papers up, living in denial, right? Another person went to the doctor, and then he threw the papers up. But after about 5 or 6, if you ever go to Monavie and look at their media promo video, look at all the doctors on that. We actually got on the doctor's panel, the doctor's show, because finally, everyone figured out that this is the hottest. The doctor actually said, this is the best product you could take for your heart, right on there, okay? Point is that all of a sudden, people stopped throwing the papers up in the air. It's the same thing here. People don't want to believe that they're red or orange. I will tell you this much, that Monavie actually is, I've got first mover advantages. They're actually doing, because they spent, $4 million on case studies on the product. Well, guess what they're doing on the scanner? Spending that same kind of case studies on the scanner. Right now, they're doing blood tests and with the compare the antioxidant, because that's the only way you can get an antioxidant score is a blood test or our scanner, and they're comparing the results when you drink the Reveal and your score to not only your scanner but also blood work. So this is going to be announced in Salt Lake, but I'm giving you some first mover that the doctors are seeing the exact same thing, and I'm not surprised because they did this study before Monavie did this before they actually bid it out and send it out third party, because you don't spend millions of dollars unless you know for a fact that is the truth. Otherwise, you just don't buy the rights to the scanner. So this is going to come out, and people will stop living, in denial or not, putting aside what's happening on this scanner. But it is happening. We're fired up. Come on, it's 11 o'clock at night or after, and we're still fired up. People are just, people are looking and praying, and it's your responsibility. My sister-in-law could not hear before Monavie. She made millions with me. They were nervous to get in. I helped start building their business. Now she's got a cochlear implant that they could afford because of the Monavie opportunity. What if I wouldn't have taken charge of my responsibility that God brought me this berry, this product, this opportunity? My sister-in-law wouldn't be able to hear right now. Somebody is needing something from you, and you don't know who it is, but it's your responsibility to start building the business, and believe me, you're going to see tear-jerking results of the product, of the incomes that are generated, and we want this for you. So we praying for you. We believe it in you, but remember, it's your business. It's your opportunity. We're all in this together, but my upline didn't come and do these meetings for me. Nobody drove them. By the way, I was by myself. I will tell you this much. The company is so on their game. If I could tell you the stuff that they got coming out that they're doing, I will tell you that as soon as I got done with that meeting, I was on the phone with Katie, with Alex, the new Latino gentleman that's going to be helping us. Man, this guy is sharp. They just hired him. Mike Hernandez. 2 hours we talked, figuring out, helping out, and I listened to Mike and Alex talk, and I mean, I was just in awe about what Monavie is doing and wanting to do to help you. And they're going to be making these announcements in Salt Lake. I can't tell you everything. Some of the stuff is going to be leaking out as we go. But I will say now's the time to go run and make it happen because it's getting crazy out there. People need this. People need to have their health better. I mean, these doctors, I mean, wasn't only doctors. A couple days before that, we got a gal in the business that works for corporate America in the healthcare, and she said, "Man, it is miserable. I just can't stand working for corporate America." The other day, I had to go to the accountant's office in Boca Raton, where my accountant is. The traffic I was in. I mean, people living in this. I mean, maybe that's you on the call. You can't live like that for the rest of your life. So, hey, we want this for you. Wayne, if there's anything else that you think I might have left out, I hope everybody here sets a goal to win that gold promotion so they can get a free trip. And you could do it. It's doable for everyone on this call. And by the way, if you've been making it happen, have some stamina. I mean, I've been in this thing 7 years. I'm more fired up now. I mean, do I sound tired? It's 11 o'clock at night. I had to step outside because I'm so fired up, wake up the dogs and everybody in the household. So, Wayne, anything else that we want to chat about before we wrap it up? I don't care about dragging it out a little bit because the ones that are on this call, the ones going to go diamond.
You got it. You're right about that, Steve. You're right about that. I was just, with Renita, I just couldn't believe that I saw something in myself that I was lacking from listening to her talk. And I think, that is so, and I'm watching people post about, I like our Facebook group that we have for the Thursday call because people are quoting people. They're saying, thanks, Steve, thanks, Rena. And it's like, it just shows how strong and important the community is, the community that we have here. And I think that, sometimes we take for granted that we have this community. Maybe people aren't making the money as fast as they want or losing their weight as fast as they want. But I think we really need to sometimes just take a moment. And you guys said something a lot when I was first getting started. I heard you say it. I heard Brig. I heard all the leaders say this almost over and over, and I don't think I've quite understood it as much as I have recently. And you said it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And I always used to say, oh, yeah, it's easy for you to say, you just got a Lamborghini, or you just got this bonus, or you're making this money. I'm just getting started out. I want to be at the destination. And, oh, my gosh, Steve, looking back over just these 5 years that I've been in, and those of you that are on the call, think about the relationships, the personal growth, and the things that have come just by being on this call, just from having upline that will counsel with you and meet with you. I just think it's something we don't talk about enough, Steve, just what comes with the community.
What I mean, again, if you don't have that DVD, Business for the 21st Century, even if you got it, pull it back out because, I mean, he said that on the talk last night, on the CD that, hey, that's the key is your personal growth and your journey, enjoy the journey and your experience. And then again, everyone, he said if you give yourself a 5-year period of time, just like this is a business, you got to learn. You do that, there is no way you're not going to bump into someone, even if you never get the exact skill set you want. You are going to bump into 3 people that are going to go make this thing happen, whether you do or not. If you just are opening your mouth and getting around the excitement and the winning environment, because you're going to put those people on this call. They're going to hear it, and they're going to do it whether you do it or not. So you don't know, like you guys were talking about earlier, the more you do it, the luckier you get. Someone is going to do it. Your time is coming. It's a matter of just keeping enjoying the journey, and it will happen because people have to do something. There's not much. I mean, look at what I said about the doctor and what the guys at the corporate America are thinking. These aren't just a couple people that this is happening to. Understand this, that every event that I've gone to, that people are walking the stage, they're all saying that they didn't want to do it. So you're going to have to relate to them, but just start by saying, "Guy, we're not asking you if you want to do this. This is just a vehicle to get you where you want to go. Stop thinking if you want to do it. Just realize this is your ticket to get where you want to go. Don't look at it if you want to do it or not. You're going to find out once you get around this community, like Wayne, you're saying, you're going to want to do it and want to be around this." And last thing I want to say was I hope every one of you really takes Friday. I mean, Friday, this is coming up tomorrow, is Payday Friday. Take this and really seriously create a frenzy in your team that anyone that got on your business, make sure they get their 2 people before Friday midnight so that they can get their Monavie card and they can start qualifying to get paid. Put everything you got into helping, not just you. You got it. Help your friends do the same thing. "Hey, Matt, we only got till midnight. Is there anyone we could call to get you your purple card? You can get your Monavie card." And we helped get him his second person. And what if I wouldn't have done that? He might not have went diamond in 70 days. I mean, he wasn't thinking it until I called him. Do that. You go help your friends and get that sense of urgency. Go out there. Get to them. Take that picture. Send it to us. Put it on your Facebook. Put it on our Thirsty Thursday Facebook page. Let us see that you're out there sponsoring people, talking to people. Don't worry about trying to get every single person in. Make sure you're following up. But you know what? You got to swing the bat if you're going to hit a home run, and that's part of building this business. And you know what? You won't see the results. Like I was wondering when I was going to Brazil if this was really worth coming down here. Now, 4.5 years later, after my first trip to Brazil, 8,000 people on fire, people getting Mercedes, people fired up, big checks. You know what? Now everyone's looking at that saying, "Oh, those guys are lucky they're doing this." No, let me help you on something. We went down there, and they were just as tough, if not tougher, than every person that you might know, just like my friends. So, hey, we love you guys. Wayne, we really appreciate this. I can't wait to hear next week. And you know what? Anyone that knows somebody in Asia, we're going to be out making it happen. Go to my website. We'll get all that stuff posted for you. I'm going actually with my daughter Raimi to watch her compete in a World Cup in Indonesia, and then after that, so I'm fitting my time with my family in, and then going around. Gina went with the last one. Now I'm going on this one. By the way, we got 2 daughters getting married this summer, Chloe and Mia. And you know what? When I started, I was teenagers. I never got in thinking that I was going to pay for 2 weddings in the summer. Praise the Lord that I got in the business, and I can able to afford 2 weddings this summer. Because you know what? You might be sitting here with little kids like you, Wayne. You don't know, but you know what? You're going to have a lot of money. Most people got to pull out their savings in order to pay for their kids' weddings. Well, guess what? We built this Monavie business, and we got the cash to pay for our kids' weddings. I'm just here to tell you, I want that for every one of you on here. Get a sense of urgency. Again, that might be your urgency. I'm telling you here, as a guy with kids that are getting married. Your kids might not be that age. Well, they're going to get married one day. Make sure you've built this business so you're prepared for when you need that cash. So.
Steve, I like the idea of taking the pictures. I like that picture. I wish today I took my daughter for her 1-year checkup at the pediatrician, and she says to me, I was talking about Kelsey's health, that we're giving her this juice and antioxidants and that. And I said, and I'm able to monitor her antioxidants and all this stuff. And she just went on about something. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you curious how I can monitor her antioxidants? And she's like, yeah, actually, how can you do that? I pulled the scanner out right in front of her, and I scanned her. And I wished I would have taken a picture now. And you know what? I don't know about anybody else on this call, but tomorrow I'm leaving. I'm taking my son to school, looking at my honey-do list, getting that done, and then I'm out. I'm scanning. I'm sending some pictures to Facebook, Steve. It's on like Donkey Kong.
You're going to sense an urgency. Hey, you know what? Whoever's left on this call, let's start. We got to change people's perception of what's going on. Nobody knows what an antioxidant or antioxidant score is or our scanner. That is a great thing. But you know what? If you can, we didn't even have Facebook when I got in, or we didn't have the internet. I mean, so it was just happening back then. So the key is that we can create this antioxidant awareness for everybody way faster than we talked about the acai berry. Nobody knew what it was. We created the acai berry craze, and we're going to be the folks that teach people about antioxidants and what it's all about. So let's get out there. Let's make it happen. I mean, it starts by, again, the tipping point. The book, The Tipping Point, says the fastest way to get anything out there is word of mouth. So get out there, word of mouth, talking to them. But I'm saying take pictures and then you can look at yourself, and you can really, like, when you know that I got to show my friend my upline and put it on my Facebook what I did tonight, and I don't have a picture there, we know what you did because you didn't take a picture. Because I was with those doctors, and they couldn't wait to take a picture. Go to my Facebook and look at it. So point is that we want to start being real. Instead of just texting and saying, hey, look, I did this, let's really see what's going on. And you can start getting the right habits like Renita was talking about. You got to start getting yourself in the zone so that you can, once you get in the zone, you won't have you won't have to worry about what you're going to say, because you don't even, you want to say the right thing, but it really doesn't matter, because like she said, if they're not looking and they don't want better health, it doesn't matter what you say. If they want better health, you don't have to even be perfect. You just keep telling them like I did. This is all I said. This is a really good question. On every question I've ever had about the comp plan, about the scanner, about the juice, how do they take that? How do they test that score on your, with that scanner? Hey, that's a really good question. I like that guy. I don't even have to have an answer because he liked me because I compliment him. Stop trying to know all the answers and say, look, here's what's going on. Let's get your score, and you just keep moving forward. But get that sense of urgency. So, hey, Wayne, it's been great. Can't wait to see everyone else start hitting their level of goal so that they can be qualifying for all expense-paid trip to Utah to our convention in late August, September, so that we can be hearing all the latest and greatest stuff at Monavie, which they are going to be announcing little by little as we lead up to it. And you want to have a little bit bigger group. Hopefully you'll be gold by the time we get there, if not higher, in your Monavie business. So it only just takes a couple people on your team to start making it happen. You go break 2, 3, 4 golds, you're looking at ruby, emerald, diamond when you get there. So, Wayne, appreciate you. Can't wait to talk to everybody next Thursday.
Awesome. Hey, guys, we're going to open up the lines. You can give a shout-out, and we're going to end this call. Thank you, Steve Merritt, so much for sharing tonight. Hey, I didn't mind going over, and we had quite a few people that hung out with us. So, Wayne Eulery, Youngstown, Ohio, let us know where you're from.
From South Carolina.
North Carolina.
Sarasota, Florida. Binghamton, New York.
Sherry,
Concord, Alberta.
Deer Park, New York.
Matt Jennifer.
Susan Lestad, Champaign, Illinois. Harvard, Arkansas. Mount
Massachusetts. Des Moines, College Station, Texas.
Henry Arciola, Binghamton, New York.
Minnesota.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Clay and Tasha Thompson from Palms, New Mexico.
New Kearney, Knoxville, Tennessee. Minneapolis.